I now give the floor to Mr. Miroslav Jenča.
Mr. President, Excellencies, Haiti is at dire crossroads. Extreme levels of gang violence continue to erode state authority and pose an alarming threat to the people of Haiti and to international peace and security in the region, with no improvement in sight. The country is now in its third year of political transition following the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. On 11 November, the Transitional Presidential Council appointed a new Prime Minister, Mr. Alix Didier Fils-Aimé, after weeks of intense standoff with the former Prime Minister, Mr. Gary Conille. Mr. Fils-Aimé is the fourth Prime Minister to hold office during this political transition. We are deeply concerned about the slow progress on Haiti's roadmap for restoring democratic institutions. Time is of essence, and to ensure that general elections can be held in 2025, it is crucial to complete the appointment of all 9 members of Haiti's Provisional Electoral Council. I want to reiterate the Secretary-General's call for all national stakeholders to set aside their differences and work constructively for the benefit of the people of Haiti and its institutions, who are faced with immense challenges. BINU continues to use its good offices to support the political process, including to boost civil society participation in the transition, with particular focus on women and youth. Excellencies, Haiti's security crisis keeps intensifying. On the very day of the new Prime Minister's installation, a series of shocking incidents unfolded as 4 commercial aircraft were struck by gang-related gunfire, resulting in the reported injury of 1 crew member. As a result, Port-au-Prince's International Airport remains closed. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration prohibited U.S. commercial flights to and from Haiti until 12 December, and many international carriers have indicated even longer suspensions. These measures suspended international access to the capital and severely restricted our ability to transport United Nations and other international personnel by air as needed. Regular movement in and out of the capital and rest of the country are also disrupted. Today, thanks to concerted UN efforts, the ANHA's helicopter was able to resume its operations in and out of Port-au-Prince. This is the second time this year that armed gangs exploit moments of political instability to tighten their stranglehold on Port-au-Prince by targeting the airport. Unlike in March of this year, armed gangs directly targeted commercial aircraft with multiple passengers on board during their landing and takeoff. Following the resulting closure of the international airport, armed gangs have further intensified their coordinated and well-orchestrated attacks. Having encircled the capital and all access roads, armed gangs have made territorial advances in strategic areas and, according to some estimates, now control 85% of the capital. They are also attacking the remaining pockets of relative safety, increasingly including government buildings and infrastructure. In the night of 18 November, armed gang coalitions launched a coordinated attack to gain control of the Pétionville suburb, which is home to most international staff, UN offices, and diplomatic missions. While the Haitian National Police tried to push gangs back, clashes in these areas have reportedly resulted in several dozen fatalities. Desperate Haitians are increasingly turning to vigilante groups, establishing roadblocks, taking justice into their own hands. This is not just another wave of insecurity. It is a dramatic escalation that shows no signs of abating. The humanitarian consequences are severe. We are deeply concerned about the safety, basic needs, and human rights of people residing in gang control areas, in particular those of women and children. Predatory armed gangs systematically attack communities using extreme forms of violence, including sexual violence, as a weapon to subjugate them. We condemn in the strongest terms the widespread sexual violence used by armed gangs. The International Organization for Migration reports a staggering rise in displacement, with 20,000 people fleeing gang violence in just 4 days in November. This adds to the approximately 700,000 internally displaced persons in Haiti as of September 2024. In addition, over 167,000 Haitians have been deported from several countries so far this year, including 35,000 since 1st October. The United Nations remains fully committed to standing with Haiti through these challenging times, but more resources are needed to provide vital assistance and support. At present, the $674 million humanitarian response plan for Haiti is only 43% funded. Mr. President, the start of deployment on 25 June of the Multinational Security Support, MSS, mission authorized by this Council marked an important milestone in the international response to Haiti's request for assistance. The multinational effort was made possible by personnel contributions from Kenya, which is leading the mission, the Bahamas, Belize, and Jamaica. Furthermore, voluntary financial contributions, equipment, and logistical support from donor countries, including Canada, France, Germany, and the United States, have been crucial. However, with just over 400 of the initially planned 2,500 personnel currently deployed, the MSS remains in its deployment phase and is unable to demonstrate its full potential. The UN Trust Fund for the MSS has a pledged amount of only $96.8 million. Much more is needed, and it is needed now. To fully deliver on the MSS mandate and achieve its envisioned strength, international donors and personnel contributors must step up immediately. Without a substantial and sustained increase in voluntary contributions from member states, there is a real risk that the MSS will never be fully equipped, fully deployed, or able to sustain its support for the Haitian National Police. Despite the magnitude of the challenges, the Haitian National Police persist and continue to conduct anti-gang operations. However, they face significant shortages of human, material, and financial resources, making it difficult to sustain their operational successes. Any further delays or operational gaps in providing international security support to the Haitian National Police, whether through the MSS or bilateral assistance, present a catastrophic risk of collapse of national security institutions. This could lead to a complete breakdown of state authority, rendering international operations and the support to Haitians in need in the country untenable. Such an outcome would be inexcusable for the people of Haiti, who have endured far too much already. Excellencies, In his address to the UN General Assembly on 26 September, the former president of the Transitional Presidential Council, Mr. Edgar Leblanc-Fils, called for the start of a discussion on the transformation of the MSS into a UN peacekeeping operation. His successor in the rotating presidency, Mr. Leslie Voltaire, reiterated his request in a letter to the Security Council on 21st October, seeking the MSS transformation as soon as possible. A resolution passed by the Permanent Council of the Organization of American States on 30 November urged the Security Council to urgently support Haiti's request to transition the MSS mission into a UN peacekeeping operation. Ongoing Security Council discussions about international engagement in Haiti's security and stability to succeed the MSS highlight the need for the government of Haiti and the international community to have a long-term vision. The Secretary-General urges the Council members to maintain the unified approach demonstrated in the adoption of the recent resolutions regarding Haiti. What is required is a sizable increase in internationally provided enhanced security support that complements the Haitian National Police. This support must include adequate capabilities, weapons, equipment, and specialized expertise that the Haitian National Police needs in order to remain the primary actor in the response against armed gangs. A robust mandate already authorized for the MSS, coupled with rules of engagement allowing proactive engagements against armed gangs, is essential. This must be accompanied by efforts to build up national police capabilities to support the government in sustainably delivering security. In the current climate of violence, Haitian stakeholders have also made calls for support to strengthen the Haitian armed forces, to which some member states have already responded. BNU's support to the Haitian National Police remains essential for the continued and long-term development of the institution, but the immediate robust operational support needed now falls outside BNU's mandate. To ensure that security gains are sustained, more must be done to counter the illicit flow of drugs, weapons, and ammunition. Corruption that incubates the illicit economy and the patronage of armed gangs by corrupt political and private sector elites must also be tackled. To this end, national anti-corruption and accountability mechanisms need to be strengthened. The UN sanctions regime concerning Haiti must be utilized to its full potential to address the root causes of gang violence, including the collusion between individuals in the political, economic, and security sectors, which would lead to increased confidence in the political process. Mr. President, robust international security support is required now. There are no ideal options for addressing the severe and multifaceted crisis in Haiti. But as time passes and the situation deteriorates, we are left with less options and the Haitian people are left with less hope. It is high time we turn commitments into action to prevent any further erosion of security and state authority in Haiti. I thank you.
I thank Mr. Jenča for his briefing. I now give the floor to Ms. Monica Juma, National Security Advisor to the President of Kenya.